I'm Doug DeMuro, and I'm here at O'Gara Coach La Jolla, the Lamborghini and Rolls-Royce dealership here in the San Diego area, among other brands. And I'm here with the brand new Rolls-Royce Cullinan SUV and the new Lamborghini SUV, the Urus. These are probably two of the hottest, coolest, most exciting cars that are coming out this year. And today I'm going to kind of show you around both of them and show you how they're sort of different but similar at the same time, and how they're both very cool. All right, this is the Cullinan, and it is absolutely one of the coolest SUVs. It's probably going to be the most expensive SUV ever. It is probably the most luxurious SUV ever. It is powered by a twin turbocharged V12, 570 horsepower, the same motor from the Phantom, and it's on the same platform as the Phantom, and it also has all of the amazing luxury goodies that the Phantom has. And so if you want the ultimate in SUV luxury and opulence and elegance, the Cullinan is intended to be that. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is literally the Rolls-Royce of SUVs. Now, the Urus, on the other hand, this is sort of the newest, craziest high-performance SUV. In fact, it's sort of going to be the highest performance SUV ever. This is going to hit a top speed of 190 miles an hour, which makes it the highest performance SUV. It's faster than the Jeep Trackhawk. It's going to do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, which is totally crazy. And that is all possible with twin turbocharged 4-liter V8 with 640 horsepower, which obviously is a massive number for an SUV. So even though this one is smaller than the Cullinan, this actually ends up having more power because it's supposed to be the Lamborghini of SUVs. So obviously these are the two hottest new crazy luxury SUVs, and you may be wondering sort of what are the differences between the two of them. And even though they're kind of going to be at a similar price point, this one's going to be a little bit less expensive, the Lamborghini, obviously. And even though they kind of even have similar engine situations, twin turbocharged, both 640 horsepower, 570 horsepower, these are obviously vastly different vehicles. The Cullinan is for the ultra luxury crowd. This is for people who they want a Phantom, but they want to sit up a little higher and maybe go off road a couple occasionally here and there. The Urus is definitely the sporty SUV. The Urus is like the Lamborghini. If you were to take a Lamborghini Aventador and translate it into an SUV, this is apparently what would happen. And so the result is that even though these two cars are coming out at the same time and they're kind of both crazy luxury SUVs from two brands we never really expected to make SUVs, they're dramatically different. And that's reflected in the styling, right? The Cullinan is much more stately and elegant and has sort of the traditional Rolls-Royce look. They even in the back sort of rounded it off and made it look a little bit more like a Phantom than a more traditional SUV, whereas the Urus has the crazy angles and it's like angry and aggressive and bold, and I suspect these will appeal to two very different types of people. All right, in the back seat of the Cullinan, you can really see sort of the whole Rolls-Royce elegance. One thing I love about Rolls-Royces, and including this one, is there's no plastic anywhere in this car, except for the seat belts, which they're kind of like mandated to make them out of a certain material and a certain shape. But everything else is just high-end leather and aluminum and chrome, and it's just the most beautiful thing. And this is just the nicest place to be seated when you're driving down the street. Now, there are a couple of cool features, obviously, with the Cullinan being the world's most luxurious SUV. One is that the doors close automatically. You push a little button up here, and the door just closes easily. You don't have to even put any energy into closing the door yourself. Also, another weird thing, you can put the seats down from the back of the car. So while you're sitting here, you can put this seat down if you've forgotten something in the back. But mostly, it's just so nice and so elegant. You're sitting back here and it just feels so luxurious. This would be a wonderful car to be driven around in as you go off-roading or something. Up front, it is also absolutely beautiful in here. There's, again, just an incredible combination of leather and aluminum and stitching, and everything is just wonderful. One interesting item up front, there is an off-road button in the center, which is kind of a strange thing to see in a Rolls-Royce. This is Rolls-Royce's first all-wheel drive vehicle. The off-road button allows you to take it off-road. There's also suspension that you can raise up. You can raise it a couple of inches for extra ground clearance. And so this is like a Rolls-Royce that you could take off-road. I don't know that anyone's actually going to do that, but the possibility is there if you wish. Aside from that, though, everything else is just so luxurious. It's your typical Rolls-Royce standard fare. It basically looks like the interior from the Phantom, except when you look out, you're a few inches higher. You're even more of the king of the road than you are in the Phantom. Now around back in the Cullinan, I'm here in the cargo area, and this is a Rolls-Royce with a cargo area and a tailgate, and it's bizarre because Rolls-Royce doesn't really make a lot of vehicles with those things. The craziest thing back here is, though, there is an option where you can get seats installed from Rolls-Royce on the bottom part of the clamshell tailgate, and so you can sit back here and have a picnic. You don't have to just sit on the tailgate like I am, like a peon. You can actually get seats and sit back here and enjoy your meal with a chair from Rolls-Royce. Obviously, it's a very expensive option, but then this is a very expensive vehicle. All right, now we're over here in the Urus, and there's a couple of interesting things about it. Before I mention them, it's worth noting this is not Lamborghini's first SUV. Lamborghini had an SUV called the LM002 back in the late 80s and early 90s, but this is their first high-performance SUV, certainly the first SUV of the modern era, and it's crazy to imagine a Lamborghini with utility. We've spent our whole lives knowing Lamborghinis as like the least practical vehicles in the world, and here's one with utility. In fact, there is so much utility. Not only is there a cargo area, but if you push a little button out here, you can see there is a tow hitch that retracts from under the bumper, so you can tow your Lamborghini with your Lamborghini. Now, apparently this is a European option. It probably won't make it to the United States, but nonetheless, the point is this is a Lamborghini that is very different from the Lamborghinis that we all grew up knowing about, where you had to sit down low and it was really hard to drive and there were terrible blind spots. This is a Lamborghini you can actually use. All right, now I'm in the back of the Urus, and again, this is just something that's kind of incredible to me. I'm in the back of a Lamborghini, and it doesn't require folding the front seat and then folding myself in, and it's really, really tight back here. Instead, I open a door and I get back in, and it's like a normal vehicle. I'm just sitting back here and I'm enjoying myself in the back of the Urus. Now, there's some crazy stuff back here, like all the detail work. You can see on the speaker cover, it mimics the shape of the taillights, which is just so cool. The rear seat in this car is actually incredible. The material on the seats is just amazing. It looks like you're in racing seats, even though you're in the back. This really feels, the interior really feels how I would expect a Lamborghini SUV's rear seat to be. It feels like I'm somewhere fun and cool. One other thing worth noting is this car can seat 4 or 5 people depending on how you configure it. You can get 2 seats front, 2 seats back, or 2 seats front and 3 seats back with a bench seat. This one has a center console, so there's 2 seats in the back. Still, it is far more practical than virtually every other Lamborghini. All right, in the front of this car, it really looks like what you'd expect a Lamborghini SUV to look like. It is really, really cool in here. Probably the coolest thing is the gear selector and the little switch that lets you switch between the drive modes. The gear selector, it feels like you're in an airplane and you're taking off. You put it in gear, you pull it back to go between the gears, and you just feel like the coolest person in the world. The little switch that lets you switch between drive modes, in a lot of cars, it's just a stupid button. In this thing, it's like this really high quality switch that sticks off to the left, and you can switch between 6 different modes. There's race, there's sport, there's an off-roading mode, a snow mode, because this is ultimately the practical Lamborghini that you could use in any condition. Everything else obviously is really cool looking. It looks a lot like a lot of other Lamborghinis. It has all the hexagons everywhere, just like the Huracan does, and everything is really high quality and really nice and high tech, and it's insane. This is the Lamborghini SUV. We live in this world now. All right, so that is the Cullinan and the Urus, a quick look at sort of the 2 hottest, coolest new SUVs that everybody is talking about. I am very excited about them. It is really cool to see them together in the same place here at O'Gara Coach La Jolla. These cars will be on sale in the next couple of months. O'Gara Coach is already taking deposits on them, and you can find out more if you go on O'Gara Coach La Jolla's website, ogaracoachlajolla.com.